Pharrell Williams on Canton's Best Mix, Mix 94.1.
808, cloudy 51.
All these people in the studio, Kathy.
There's a lot of man in here. Sausage Fest on Friday.
It's got this
I'm
smell
outnumbered.
of dude in the studio right now.
Not an offensive smell of dude, because there is a line. There's like good dude and then bad dude smell. And since it's early on in the day and it's not too hot in here, it's okay dude smell.
Right.
At about 3 in the afternoon, it might be offensive dude smell.
Funk,
yes.
dude, funk.
Ugh.
So we're joined by the Joe Vitale Jr. band.
Yay!
Morning.
I'm going to clap.
Good morning. Joe Vitale Jr. in the studio, the other half of Joe Cat. But you've got your own gig, and there's a big show coming up a week from today.
Yes.
At the Akron Civic Theater, right?
Yes, on April 4th, Akron Civic Theater at 8 o'clock p.m. we'll be playing a special cabaret show.
Now, you are a fascinating individual, and for anybody that doesn't know, of course, you're the son of Joe Vitale, who, renowned drummer, played with Joe Walsh, the Eagles, Ted Nugent, whole bunches of people.
Long list, yes.
So you've got music in your blood, right?
I think so, yes.
And when did you begin your whole path down the musical career?
When I was a kid, actually, I wanted to be an astronaut like a lot of other kids. But then I had this opportunity. My dad was out on tour with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and they do that song, Teach Your Children. And we were up at Blossom Music Center, and they said, hey, would you want to come out on stage and play tambourine on Teach Your Children? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I was 10. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to come out and play.
Right.
So at the same time, I was unbelievably nervous. Like I'd throw the band off if I dropped, the tambourine or something. I don't even think I was mic'd. It was just more for appearance. But I walked out on stage. There were 19,000 people, total capacity of Blossom at the time, and everyone screamed. And I'm like, oh, this is way more fun than everything else I'm doing. So right about that time is when I decided I would start going down that road. It wasn't until about 2000, though, before I started actually putting together my first solo record. But I had started writing songs from 92 when my parents got me one of those little Porta Studio deals back then. So I was always writing these little silly songs, but then I started to get real serious about it toward beginning of 2000. So it was really cool.
Well, and you've done a lot, not just with your own music, but other people's music too,
yes,
right? Like
absolutely.
You've gone into the studio and you've produced and you've recorded and you've engineered albums, right?
Yes, I've worked on, as an editor, I've worked on at least 3 of Steven Still's solo records and and I mixed one of his live DVDs that he had done. And then I also worked on, it's unreleased Jimi Hendrix material that still hasn't hit the market yet, but it's being able to solo Jimi Hendrix is just insane.
So that's amazing to me. So you sit in a studio and like with the Jimi Hendrix, you've got master tapes in front of you?
Pretty much. I mean, what they did is they had converted them down from the original tapes down to files for me to work with. But yeah, essentially, I have the 12 track of what they had done in the studio, and you can hear them in between. You can hear them talking and stuff.
That's
and
cool.
it's really, really cool.
Right, and then with Steven Stills, didn't you tell me that was at his house? Like you basically lived with Steven Stills?
It was essentially we were there at least 12 to 14 hours a day. We'd go in and work. And we basically stay at the hotel overnight, obviously, and then drive up the hill, stay there all day until the wee hours of the morning, then repeat it every day. But we worked there. The longest I worked there at one stretch was about 3 weeks, but that was every other month we'd be out there working. So it was a very, very, very fun but very busy time. It was great.
At what point in your life did you start doing this, professionally? That you started, going and living at Steven Still's house for 3 months at a time?
Well, essentially, I got one day in the late 90s, I had gotten this package from a friend of ours, a company called Broadjam. But at the time, he was also working at Sonic Foundry, which is now owned by Sony. They sent this package of software over. It was kind of digital editing software. And so I started learning how to edit around then.
Back in the day.
Right.
Before.
Yeah, back in 98. And so I started learning how to use digital editors back then. Then in 2001 is when I started doing some edits for Steven, because Dad's like, oh, Joe could do that. He has the ability to edit this one. I can't remember what song it was. And so started with that and then just kept building from there, and then started doing loop libraries for Sony Acid and so forth. So it was a very progressive building, up a ladder, essentially.
And that's amazing because of the experience it teaches you musically. When you're exposed to, phenomenal artists, and you're sitting there listening to, in Hendrix's case, raw tapes.
Yes.
Did that help you get a better appreciation for the craft?
Absolutely. It was like the best hands-on education I could have ever asked for. I've gone to school to fill in some of the gaps on areas that I was self-taught on, but for the most part, it was really hands-on to learn all that stuff.
So now we have the Joe Vitale Jr. Band. How long have you guys been together?
As of May 30th, it'll be 3 years approximately.
Is this your first band incantation, or have there been previous?
I've had some acoustic things like as a duo or trio, but nothing as a band, full band. This is the first one.
And how many members?
There are actually 4 of us. Our one is at work today, but there are actually 4 members of us here.
The drummer's at work.
Yes.
How dare he miss this
Dylan's at work
fine
today.
opportunity?
So who are the members of the band?
All right, on guitar over here, we have Mr. Trevor Wozniak.
Trevor.
Over here on bass, we have Mr. Ryan McDermott.
Woo, Ryan. Oh, my God.
And our drummer that's missing is Dylan Gomez.
Boo, he's
Trevor,
not here.
Ryan, and Dylan. How did you find these guys?
That is all due to Trevor right over here.
Oh, Trevor. Well, where did Trevor come from, first of all?
Trevor actually is, okay, gotta get this straight. My dad is really good friends with his wife's dad, and then they used to, well, they
With
still
Trevor's
do.
father-in-law.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, babe.
I know. That makes a lot actually more sense to do it that way. But anyway, it's like, who is it? It's like, I am your father's brother's sister, yeah.
Right.
Any rate, so what does that make us? Bandmates. Anyway, so they would have breakfast and that, and then Trevor's wife obviously was there, and Trevor go to breakfast, and so I met Trevor through that whole conglomeration.
Right.
And then I started talking to him about, like, I have this, this album, I want to, try to start playing this out and so forth. And, do you know some people that would be able to, to do this in that sense? Because I wasn't really sure who to get. And he literally handpicked every single person in this group, and it's been fantastic. Yeah.
And 3
The
years.
evil plan.
Has the band all been the same members for the past 3 years?
We've rotated a couple members, but for the most part, the 3 of us have always been the core members of it.
Which is amazing for any band to keep the core together for any
Don't
time
break up the family.
past 6 months,
Exactly.
really, because you know how it is in bands and stuff. Now, this album right here, Dancing with Shadows, when was this released?
That was released at the end of 2008. So I'm on to a new record now that should be hopefully released this.
So your
later
last
this year.
release was the end of 2008.
Well, the last full record. I've done I've done some soundtrack work and some remix projects and singles, but this is the second new full length record I've been putting together.
Now, I found this interesting. When Kathy and I had to MC the Domestic Violence Project's fundraiser, I got a chance to kind of sit and talk with you a little bit over dinner. And I asked you, I said, now, why in this day and age of singles and iTunes and Amazon, why spend the money, spend the time to put together a full-length album?
Well, you can put singles out very easily in the sense as you get them done, you can put them out, which is always cool, too. The thing I like about records, though, is you can have one kind of consistent thought that spreads across all the songs. So you have you can have a storyline going or a set of songs that work together. And the cool thing about when you have a record also that works together is you have, it has its own kind of personality then.
Right.
And so, and a lot of times this song will lead to, inspiration for this song and this song and this song. And eventually you see how these all work together. And I always like full length records. So that's why I still do those.
So, Dancing with Shadows, does every song on this have something to do with another song, or is it all a story beginning to end?
Well, my first record is very autobiographical. It's essentially my life, and that everything on there is either happened or has been very close to that. I've tried to make it kind of a life experience, but my big thing with my music is I try to give strength to people and so forth. So my whole thing is to give something back to someone who's listening to the record, so they get something out of it, and I get the enjoyment of actually playing it for them.
It's an amazing album. First of all,
Thank you.
Second of all, I could see it strikes a chord. Everybody that hears it, it strikes a chord within them. And look at the track list here. Just the names of the songs. I Don't Belong Here, Break. Dancing with Shadows, Beautiful Girl, I Only Need You, She Intoxicates, It's Not Me, It's You, Mysterious, Never Look Back, By the Shoreline, Infectious, You Make Me Feel Alive, Fight It, or Self-Destruct.
Yes.
I mean, each one of those songs speaks a lot. This is a deeply personal album to you.
Absolutely, yes.
And what are you working on for the new album?
Well, the new album, I've got a couple songs together in the box right now, but what we're going to be doing a little bit here is I have a new song called The Keeper that we're going to be playing. It's very Zeppelin Who-ish in that sense. So it's a lot of fun, though. This new record I'm doing very electronic, at the same time very rock and roll, too. So it's a good mix of what I like to blend.
You know what I find fascinating about you is that you can play every instrument in your band, right?
They refer to me as what's called utility guys. They can move me around the stage. I was always a hyperactive child. If anyone who knows me hasn't figured that out by now, but I always was picking up new kind of hobbies in that sense, new instruments to kind of fill in when I got bored. So that's how that kind of occurred.
I'm just going to learn to play the piano because I'm bored. That's Joe.
Does that help when you write songs? I mean, because the songwriting process is fascinating to me, and everybody that writes music has a different process. Do you have an idea, or do you start off with the music and try it out and then try to put words to it? Or
it's a little bit of a mix of everything. Sometimes, like on the song I Only Need You, that literally came together at the same time. The words and the music literally I wrote those at this exact same time. A lot of songs like Dancing with Shadows, at times I will start writing a track down for it. Okay, like this sounds cool. Let's go here. I have kind of an idea in my mind where I want to go, but essentially it kind of like literally falls together sometimes and like, oh, well, this works with this. And I've had like several songs that become one tune. So it kind of varies on each song. It depends the mood I'm in, depends on when I sit down to, start writing, if inspiration strikes, how it's going to come together.
Okay. Well, listen, we have to take a break. But when we come back, and by the way, Joe is an out-of-the-box artist, too.
Yes, he'll actually be on this Sunday with the song Infectious.
Yeah. But you're going to perform something nobody has ever heard yet.
Correct.
And remember, the Joe Vitale Jr. Band playing a cabaret show a week from today, next Friday night, at the Akron Civic Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up next, and you can even win tickets. Hang on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for
DeLuca and Kathy.
Weekdays from 6 to 10 on Mix 94.1.
At 8:24, cloudy, 51 degrees right now in Canton. Joined by the Joe Vitale Jr. Band in studio, playing the Akron Civic Theater a week from today.
Right.
For a special cabaret show. I guess I'll turn it over to you guys.
Okay. Guys ready? Yeah.
Toss and turn, wide awake. Not much more my soul can take. You're the keeper of my heart. You're the keeper. Deep under my skin, I can hear, I can feel you. I am lost in your love, like the fire that surrounds me. You're the keeper of my heart. You're the keeper, and I'm longing, longing for you, baby. There's a hunger inside, never satisfied. Yes, I've fallen, fallen for you, baby, and it's only just begun. Whoa.
keeper of my heart. You're the keeper. You're the keeper of my heart. You're the keeper. Here we go!
Nicely done.
Look at you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me turn your reverb off right there so you don't sound like God.
Hello.
Good morning, Northeast Ohio.
So that's the keeper, right?
Yes.
And that's brand new.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's going to show up maybe on the new album?
It'll be definitely on the new record, and that's actually what we'll be opening our show with at the Akron Civic. So
That's beautiful. Akron Civic Theater next Friday night. Is it okay if I make you guys do another one, like off this album?
we can do that.
Okay.
They can do anything. We do have tickets to give away. We have a prize package.
Oh, hey, little package.
Little
of prize.
package.
Look at that. But it's a cabaret show.
Right, so the seats are up on the stage. It seats 200. The band's right there. Then the seats on the stage. A little bar over to the side. It's all good.
It's a fun night.
I like that, man. It's one of those songs that you just did there, The Keeper. You can hear the older influence, but it still has a very modern sound. I like that, man.
Thank you. I try to blend the two so they work together.
He's mixing it up.
Mixing it up
On the
with
mix.
Joe Vitale Jr. By the way, the website, JoeVitaleJr.com.
Yes, correct.
JoeVitaleJr.com. All the information's there, your tour, because you are playing a lot, aren't you?
We're doing a bunch of really fun shows this year. We're really, really looking forward to this year. We got a bunch of stuff coming up all over the area.
Okay, all right. So what can we do now?
I don't know.
What song would you is there any particular, or do you guys have to
We just need to
stuff?
retune real quick in that sense, but we'd be good to go. We'll do Fight It or Self-Destruct to actually be a phone to do.
All right, listen.
Patrick will like that one.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We have to do the retro play.
Yeah.
On the other side of the break. And we got to take care of a couple of endorsements.
Right.
Is there traffic going on or no?
No.
Okay, all right. So we'll
I'm going to say no.
get that out of there. All right. Live radio, folks. We'll be back with more of the Joe Vitale Jr. Band after these words.
Hey, who
hey.
needs Madonna?
No, when you've got Kathy Vogel.
That's right.
Right. And Joe Vitale Jr.
Yeah, there we go.
We tear that up.
Joe Cat together in the studio together.
Yeah.
Along with the rest of the band too. Now, when you guys practice, how often are you guys practicing?
We usually it's on average it's at least once a week we do, but a lot of times we'll do 2 rehearsals a week. We do 1 full band rehearsal, then the guitars and bass. We do that as a separate rehearsal additionally. So sometimes twice a week.
Where do you guys practice?
We rehearse up in Kent in this little room that has no heat or air conditioning.
Yes.
Or a bathroom.
Subject to the climate, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's like 12 degrees outside, it's basically that inside. Occasionally we'll have heat. It's very intermittent. But it's made us, yeah, exactly. It's basically spinning the wheel on the
It's free.
Will you have heat? This is, yeah.
I know.
Well, Kathy and I can sympathize. Every day we play that same game.
I'm about ready to go adjust the thermostat.
Well, yeah, it's there's a lot of energy.
There's a lot of
in
men in here.
So, our copies of your album here, Dancing with Shadows, are they still available?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where can people get them?
You can go to, a couple places. You go either to my website, JoeVitaleJr.com, or you can stop over at CD Baby, and the album's also available on iTunes.
Oh, there you go. Get the whole thing. And,
See, the more you buy, the even more spectacular our wedding reception can be.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to plant that seed.
That's
I like
what it
that.
is.
Mama
like
wants
that,
ceiling swag, so let's buy some copies. All right? All right.
So you guys are going to do another song for us, but we have to break and go do news.
News gets in the way.
Well, breaks get in the way, but
I
whatever.
know.
We need a
Okay.
paycheck, so
Yeah, that's true.
That's fine. But you guys, you're going to come back. You're going to do a song off this album for us. But you've been nice enough to bring a pair of tickets to give away to next Friday's show at the Akron Civic Theater.
Yes, I did. And these are very special tickets. I hand-selected them from an all-general admission ticket. So you can
the
sit
best seating
anywhere you
possible.
want. Yes, you can sit anywhere you like.
They're magic tickets.
Depending upon you get there.
What time is the show? What time does it start?
Starts 8 o'clock.
8 p.m. next Friday night.
Yes.
Akron Civic Theater. Give me a number.
Let's go with 3. Let's not make it hard.
Kathy,
Because I
number
can't
3.
count past 3.
Caller number 3, 330-450-9400. You'll be able to go absolutely free if you win.
Yeah, you have to be a winner, though.
My head.
You blanked for a
I don't know.
second.
We'll be back
You
after
okay?
this.
This is DeLuca and Kathy in the morning.
I just got an email, too, about my skepticism I mentioned about the
water park.
Aqua World.
Right.
This guy says, you have good reason to be skeptical. Use your favorite search engine and see what you can pull up. The website has no real information. Hammond Aqualife is the parent company, and I can't find their website. They were incorporated in Colorado last year and led by a man named Vitale Jr. from Texas.
You should change your name. Fidel DeLuca.
Fidel DeLuca.
Fidel.
DeLuca.
DeLuca.
You just speak it with an accent.
Hola.
Doesn't have to be good.
I am DeLuca.
Right, see?
Yeah, right, see?
You just be oozing, I don't know.
Then we put you on the cover of a romance novel.
Something.
With his hair blowing in the wind, you see.
Joe's got this all. I might have a song on the new album. Oh no, very disturbing. Joe Vitale Jr. Band is here, and we'll be playing a show. We've got a pair of tickets to give away. Let's see if we can find a winner.
Good morning.
Who's this?
I call number 3.
That's all they want to know. They don't even-
They don't want to. They don't want to have conversation with us. I feel like we're cheap
Oh,
or something.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Are you
I'm
having a
rude.
good day?
How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. And how are you feeling today?
I'm heading into work. I don't feel all that great about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, nobody feels good about going to work. It's leaving work that feels great.
Right.
Yeah, well, not when it's midnight at night, but
You're bringing
be
down
all
the
right.
phone call. Come on. I wanted to tell you were a winner. And
Let's just go to it. Yeah, you're caller 3.
Congratulations.
Yeah, caller 3.
Thank you.
Give me a pair of tickets to go see the Joe Vitale Jr. Band next Friday at the Akron Civic Theater. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to go.
Well, I
Alexis and
expect you to flash your man boobs to Joe.
From the stage, yeah.
We need a little scandal. Always makes for a good reputation
Exactly.
here.
I don't know if Joe wants that kind of a reputation.
It'd make it for it'd make it for a fun evening.
Look at that fat, hairy Italian guy up there. So, listen, hold on. I got to get your information, but tell us what your favorite station is.
94.1, man.
So if somebody else would like to go, where can tickets be acquired?
You could either get them at akroncivic.com, or you can actually go through my website. There's a link to the tickets through joevitalejr.com as well.
Okay, and the album that we're talking about, Dancing with Shadows, available now on iTunes.
That was really, really professional, Pat.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I like that. Available now on iTunes.
Hey. You guys did a new song.
Yes.
But I do a song off of this.
You got
Okay.
it.
So what are you thinking about?
We're going to do a song called Fight It or Self-Destruct. This is one we really enjoy playing live. So
What is the story behind it?
essentially, what's really kept me going all these years is my faith in Christ. And for me, my album is very autobiographical, and I literally had to just keep my feet firmly planted and trust Him, trusting God in that sense to get me through everything. And so that's essentially Fight It or Self-Destruct.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Vitale Jr. Band.
You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Neck deep, losing sleep, so much chaos inside. Burned down, full of doubt, and all that's left me is pride. Still I stand up, I get tough, wipe the sweat from my eyes. I can still breathe, I still see, and you can't take that away from me. Fight it or self-destruct. Fight it or self-destruct. When life is crushing you down, just plant your feet on the ground and fight it or self-destruct. Too fast, losing track, everything's out of control. Close calls, through it all, gonna climb right out of this hole. Still I hold tight, can't lose sight, nothing gets in my way. I have to dig in,
once again, and I'll never stop till I win. Fight it or self-destruct. Fight it or self-destruct. When life is crushing you down, just plant your feet on the ground and fight it or self-destruct. Fight it or self-destruct. Fight it or self-destruct. When life is crushing you down, just plant your feet on the ground and fight it or self-destruct. Just fight it. Just fight it. You can't stop. You can't stop what you can't control. You can't stop me. I never will self-destruct. You can't stop. No, you can't stop what you can't control. You can't stop me. I never will self-destruct.
Wow. You are fabulous. All of you.
Thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing.
And
Joe.
thank you to my gentleman here today.
The gentleman.
The gentleman. The gentleman. Yes. The Joe Vitale Jr. Band. Go check them out next Friday at the Akron Civic Theater. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you.
Sound amazing. Back after this celebrity slap and maybe a chance at the Andrews Furniture High-Low jackpot.
Yeah, somebody could win some cash today.
Cha-ching.
This is DeLuca and Kathy in the morning.
It's a mixture and it keeps me entertained.
On Mix 94.1.
I put a link there to Mr. Vitale Jr.'s. Is that incorrect? Should
That's
it,
right.
Mr. Vitale? Does the junior have to be? I don't know.
I'm changing my last name to Junior when we get married. It's just going to be Junior. I will have no last name. It'll just be Junior.
Kathy Jr. and DeLuca in the morning on Mix. I put a link to the Akron Civic Theater's website for anybody that wants to buy tickets. So, I highly suggest, like I said, anybody that can come in this early in the morning, and for musicians, this is very early.
Oh, yes.
He'd still be sleeping right now.
I'm normally out right now.
Right. For anybody to come in and sing and play like that, absolutely phenomenal. So, I'll tell you what, we were just sitting here in the studio, Kathy and Joe, watching this incredibly amazing video.
Really is.
On YouTube. This guy named Jelani Eddington did the main title and some symphonic pieces from Star Wars on a Wurlitzer pipe organ.
It will blow your mind.
It's
really will.
Absolutely incredible.
Fab.
I mean, we were sitting here playing it, listening to it, and it's amazing how I love those old Wurlitzer organs because literally it's an entire orchestra at the reach of one person.
Yeah, that's what blows my mind about it.
And I mean, here, just...
The Force will be with you always.
It's just amazing to me. This guy's doing all of this with 2 hands and 2 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tear this ship apart and bring the plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive.
He knows every line to the movie Star Wars. I'm not even kidding.
It's fabulous. I'll post it on the Facebook. The Facebook feed.
Yes.
For you guys to take a gander.
Monday